The Bears. I'm Jason Gilbo here at Fantasy Football Cafe, taking a look at the Bears. No, I will not be doing that throughout the entire preview because that would be annoying, much like Cutler's careless efforts throughout the 2014 season. And, well, you could just chalk it up to his whole career. Big changes in Chicago. Mark Trestman out, John Fox is in. It's going to change things greatly on the offensive side of the ball. Going to turn into a more balanced attack at the least. Maybe see a little heavy on the running attack, but I think because the defense is still pretty poor, you're going to see Cutler still throwing quite a bit. And that's just how the Bears are programmed right now. So I'm not worried about it too much, but there will be a slight drop for Martellus Bennett, which I'll talk about a little later. With that being said, Brandon Marshall's gone. But Chicago drafted one of the draft's best wide receivers, Kevin White, out of West Virginia. So quickly replaced Brent Marshall there, and they got 4 targets now for Cutler to work with. But that doesn't mean anything with Cutler. The talent's there, his head's not, so he's always had targets. We'll see what he can do. Last year, not a bad year fantasy-wise, other than the 18 interceptions, but 3,800 yards, 28 touchdowns. Pretty solid numbers there, but like I said, the INTs really killed him. Cutler was forced to throw, being down many times last season with one of the league's worst defenses behind him. And guy, you just get that don't care attitude. I'm gonna wing it. Half the time it works, half the time it doesn't. So I think we'll see some of that here in 2015, which could be a little risky because I don't think the Cutler's organization or the Bears organization is going to put up with that much longer. Cutler may be a pain in the ass for the Bears, but upside really keeps things interesting here for fantasy football. 4 solid targets to throw to. Cutler is ranked very low, and the late round quarterback people already know about him. 4,000 yards, 25 touchdowns seem to be really safe floor, and he has the upside for 30 touchdowns. Really, with that offense, you have to like his weapons, and granted, he can figure things out this year and throw the ball well. You got to like Cutler in the late rounds. So, Alshon Jeffrey ranked 7th in targets last season, hauled in 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns. Likely going to flirt with being a top 10 wideout again. That's nice. Jeffrey's still going to be a pretty reliable wide receiver. I like him. Second-round guy. So, Kevin White, another wide receiver coming in, major buzzworthy. A lot of people are onto him coming into the draft. He's not going to fly under the radar, but people may reach for him. But if he does float down to his ADP or slightly below, I'm definitely going to snag him. Martellus Bennett, big numbers under Trestman, and you can maybe chalk it up to Brandon Marshall as well, being hobbled throughout the season. I don't see him hitting 2014 numbers, but he's still going to be a decent tight end to take late in drafts. Just with John Fox's reliance on the run game, Eddie Royal being there. There was no slot receiver last year. Martellus Bennett was a lot of short yardage guy. Found some time in the red zone. That's probably going to change slightly coming into 2015. So looking at the running game, it's really Matt Forte and Matt Forte only still, so it's nice to see there. John Fox has been known to pound the run game, but Forte's going to see maybe some more attempts if he can stay healthy. He's going to turn 30 coming into the season. I think we've already kind of seen his tables turn for fantasy value in the run game. 2014 yards per carry was 3.9, which was very low for him, coming from a steady 4.6 over the last few seasons. 102 receptions for Forte last year was just an absolute monster in PPR leagues, but those numbers are not going to be duplicated. I think you're going to see him drop about 40 receptions and lean closer to 60 this season, which is still nice numbers for a running back. Forte's still going to be a top 5 running back. Definitely outside the top 3 or 4 for me there. I still like Charles, Peterson, Bell, of course, more than him. And then, looking ahead, I still kind of see Jerry Mahill cranking up there for me. He's kind of one of my favorite running backs of the draft. So, Forte's still a little risk there. But overall going to be a solid fantasy running back. Maybe his last season being that one. Turning the age corner here. So looking at 2015, pretty safe floor for the passing game. Jeffrey Cutler being your guys at their ADPs. I like them a lot. Kevin White's not guy. I'm going to reach up for in redrafts, but still a solid wide receiver there. Probably wide receiver 4-ish, around that range there. Martellus Bennett's a guy I'm not reaching for because I don't believe he's going to come close to 2014 numbers, but late in the drafts I will definitely grab him, just with the passing attempts there for Cutler. Likes his tight ends. You know, Bennett's been a pretty decent guy there otherwise. Tight end's not a great position outside of the first couple of the guys there anyway. So, despite being a team who's only won 5 games last season, the issues really was turnovers and defense. Because if you look at Jeffrey Forte, a lot of weapons are still coming back into 2015.